The downrange weather looked good in case Dragon had to make a unplanned abort splashdown in an escape maneuver somewhere in the Atlantic. And we even had the, once we get on orbit, in case Dragon had to re-enter and come back early, the weather was good in the Pacific in case it had to come down. So everything was looking our way, except Mother Nature, the weather. It's Florida, and we got into the back end of the tropical storm that is now gone ashore in the Carolinas. But unfortunately, that left everything disrupted just enough to where we violated several of the weather rules, and we did not have enough time for them to go green. Green meaning where it says conditions are clear and you are all right to launch. We were still red on those rules, and that was the end of the countdown for the day. Again, we scrubbed at T-minus 16 minutes, 54 seconds. That was shortly before we were due to begin loading liquid oxygen onto the second stage. That was both the logical breakpoint in the countdown procedure, where we could take a scrub without loading one more propellant on the vehicle, and at the same time, that was when the range gave us the final bad news that we weren't going to get. We're continuing to watch right now as the crew works to get the hatch open. They send final commands, making sure that everything's go. Once the hatch is open, the ground crew can verify that there's nothing in the way under the seats that Doug and Bob are sitting in, and we will get the seat rotation again, get them back a little bit more vertical. They're more on their backs right now in the launch position, so they'll rotate, then they'll help them out of the seats, and they'll come back out and down the arm and off of the tower.
Dragon SpaceX, for status, it looks like the closeout team is inflating the hatch seal, the arm seal right now.
Okay, yeah, we can be the post outside the window.
we've been quiet for a few minutes, but if you're just now tuning in, we did not launch today. We did have to scrub today's mission due to weather. We were just under 17 minutes away from our T0 time at 4:33 Eastern when the call was made. We were really there to inform teams when it's safe to launch. So we're looking at weather both around the pad and weather all the way on the way to orbit for them. So we did have to scrub. Since then, we've been able to get all of the propellant off of Falcon 9. The launch escape system has been disarmed, and right now the closeout teams are there in the white room, so right at the end of that crew access arm. They're configuring the big seal that goes around the Dragon capsule just to make sure its environment is isolated from all that nasty Florida weather, and then they'll be able to get the hatch open, and we'll get Bob and Doug back out.
Well, we're coming up on just under an hour since the plan T0. Again, if you're just joining us, well, we've been here summing up for a while.
SpaceX for status.
Stand by for status check. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, closeout team's still working to do the hatch seal inflation. Expect another 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay. Okay. We scrubbed at T-minus 16 minutes, 54 seconds. Egress team, they're sent through the roadblocks. They heard SpaceX talking to astronauts Bob and Doug. They're working the seal around Dragon. Then we make sure that Dragon capsule pressure is equalized. We've still got several more minutes. We'll carry that as we go. A couple of points to bring up. The crew quarters to D-suit.
For awareness, we're going to command the vehicle until that hatch open.
Okay, that's good. That'll get them into the sequence to make sure that the pressure is inside and outside.
And note, this will equalize cabin pressure. So you may notice something different.
Okay, thanks.
So as I started to mention, once everybody's on, that is in the launch support position. There's no plan to come back down to horizontal. The vehicle is designed to stay vertical. Now, if we were to find something wrong during the countdown as we go, as we did late last night, early this morning, is we're working a ground issue on the transporter.
And Dragon SpaceX for status, the closeout team is stepping into hatch opening now.
Copy.
John Innsbrucker back here at the webcast desk in Hawthorne, California. We've got another camera up, and you can see the side-by-side view on the monitor. Astronauts Bob and Doug inside, waiting for the hatch to come open. We're still in the middle of the equalization step. Make sure the pressure inside the Dragon is equal to the external, the ambient pressure, so that when we open the hatch, it just comes open without any extra force. You can also see the SpaceX team is up alongside the capsule. They are removing essentially the thermal protection devices. For example, if you have a door handle on your automobile, if you're going to have to re-enter from outer space, you're going to have to put a small heat shield over that door handle. Otherwise, any kind of protuberances, cavities could be subject to burnup. So they'll take their time, make sure that we get all of the thermal protection safety devices off, so that they can then get access to the mechanism to go ahead and bring the hatch open. So what you are watching right now on the left monitor is the egress team going through the steps. This is typical. We're not hearing any chatter over the pad net if they're having any problems. They just take their time and make sure that everybody's ready to bring the hatch open when they finally get there. So currently we are T plus 1 hour and 11 minutes or so since the planned launch. Obviously, we're still on the ground as we're going through the post-scrub operations to bring astronauts Doug Hurley and Bob Bacon out of the capsule. And you can see now that she is coming open. There's a view from the camera inside the capsule. You can see the hatch area. Crew gave a quick wave to the ground crew when it came open. And right now they should be inspecting the area underneath the seats so that we can command the seats to rotate back into the ingress-egress position, make it a little easier on Bob and Doug to get in and out of the seats.
Dragon SpaceX, just for awareness, they have a few more steps in their procedure, and they should be calling to us for seat rotation shortly.
Okay, copy that. Yep, we see them working on that, and just as a lead into that, we are ready for the seat rotation. Just let us know when you're ready to start.
Okay.
Confirmation from the Dragon team talking to the astronauts that they're just about ready to send the seat rotation command. Again, the ground crew is verifying, making sure that none of the cargo that's packed in Dragon underneath the crew, nothing is in the way, nothing came loose. You're looking at one row of crew seating, but there is, as we've mentioned before, Dragon's designed to carry up to 7, but on this flight, for example, much of the cargo that we're carrying is loaded in various areas down below where the astronauts are seated. So they're just verifying nothing's in the way, so that when they send the rotation command, the seats will pivot without encumbrance.
Dragon SpaceX, we are initiating seat rotation.
Dragon copies, we're ready.
They call out from the Dragon core up to the crew, letting them know that we are sending command from the ground to rotate the seat, and you can see astronauts Doug Hurley, Bob Behnken rotating in their seat back to a more comfortable position to get in and out of the capsule.
Dragon SpaceX, seats are upright. Thanks for the valiant effort today, helping us test our scrub timeline, and we'll see you Saturday.
Yeah, we appreciate those words. Everybody did great today. It was a great practice, and we'll do it again on Saturday. Everybody stay safe, and we'll talk to you in the loop.
Likewise.
Well, Dan, we've heard it. They've got rotated, the hatch is open. The ground crew is going to work to get the astronauts out. The SpaceX Dragon team, like the SpaceX Falcon 9 team, is going to be coming off the console now as we turn it over to the folks on the pad. So while we didn't launch, it was a pretty good countdown and scrub sequence. So we've got that good lesson learned under our belt, and we look forward to Saturday having even better results when we get close to T0.
That's right. Always great when we don't have any issues with the capsule or the rocket, which we didn't today. Just had to fight that weather. And we'll be doing the same on Saturday. We were today. We did see it was all just a matter of trying to line up correctly. And didn't make it today, but we're going to try again on Saturday.
Right, and it sounds like we were just about half an hour away from making the launch attempt today with weather, with 50% weather chance on Saturday. Hopefully we have a better day at T0 for liftoff.
But we're definitely going to all be back. Jesse, myself, and John I will be here in Hawthorne to take you along every step of the way. We hope everyone else tunes in also, because this is really going to be a monumental moment. We're now going to look towards Saturday for America once again launching U.S. astronauts on American rockets from American soil. With them getting out of the capsule, though, that's going to do it for us here at Hawthorne. We're going to send you back down to Florida for one last check-in with our teams there. So over to you, Marie, Lauren, Leland, if you're still sticking around, and we're going to be looking forward to Saturday.
All right, thanks a lot, Dan. Yeah, we're just all sitting here. We watched Bob Behnken just climb out of his seat. Looks like he is out of Crew Dragon now, and Doug Hurley following suit, no pun intended. Then we see Bob in the foreground and Doug climbing out of Crew Dragon in the background. Pad closeout team looks like helping them out, so any minute they're going to be basically just reversing course, coming back the way from whence they came. Leland, I know you had a scrub years back.
Yeah, Marie, in 2008, we were having breakfast. I never scrubbed while I was in the vehicle, but we were having breakfast, and we got a call from the flight director saying that we had these engine cutoff sensors that were bad. 2 were bad, and the flight rules say you have to have 3 of 4 to fly. And so we all said we're not going to fly unless we have them. And I think we all need to know that the flight rules are there to protect, our astronauts and their families. And we got very close today. We sometimes get that launch fever that we want to go ahead and just try it anyway, but we have these rules for a reason, and it's really important to stick to the rules, even in the heat of battle, even with, dignitaries here. It's just the way that we have to do it as operators.
It's also a good wet dress exercise. Went through exercise all the systems nearly to T0, which is incredible. I believe this may have been the first time Bob and Doug are sitting on top of in our vehicle with a fueled rocket. So that's pretty cool, for sure. Closing the hatch. exercising the environmental life support systems, doing that flight leak check. I mean, all of this is a ton of learning that came out of here, even if we didn't ultimately go to space today.
Absolutely. So we're getting a cool view that we wouldn't have seen if they launched. They're making their way back down the crew access arm. And they are going to be turning the corner there, heading to the stairs that are going to take them down to the elevator.
Passing the worm.
Passing the worm. So, yep, they're heading down the stairs now. It's going to take them down to the 255-foot level, and then they're going to be getting in the elevator, take them down to the ground level. And we'll do it again on Saturday.
It's actually very reassuring that all systems were go. You know, there was no problems with the vehicle at all. It was long, as you said, and it was just some weather. And I think if we have the same performance on Saturday, and the weather gods give us some good juju there, we'll be good to go.
Yes, yes, please. I mean, we were so close today. It hurt my heart. If we had 10 more minutes, it sounded like we probably would have made it, but just was not to be today. And of course, we're gonna always do what is the safest thing for the crew. And as they head into the elevator there, we do want to go over to Operations and Support Building 2 now, where the NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine is standing by. He would like to provide his own thoughts now. We'll go to him.
Well, thank you, Marie. I know there's a lot of disappointment today. The weather got us. But I also want to say it was a great day for NASA. It was a great day for SpaceX. I think our teams worked together in a really impressive way, making good decisions all along. So here in this particular case, we had just simply too much electricity